Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we do have things to talk about, and we are first going to talk about FC Barcelona. So I do want to talk about what Barcelona wants to do with their players, meaning they might propose a wage cut to the players. And so let me explain what I mean by that. Barcelona are looking at ways to elevate the economic impact from the pandemic. And so I'm going to be very vague on the way I'm going to talk about in this topic, because I don't want YouTube to give me another red flag for talking about these type of topics. But so I'm going to watch what I say, so excuse me for not being so detailed in this topic. So yes, it's true that the club are looking for a salary cut on all players, meaning they're looking to cut the salary for the men's and women's football teams, the B teams, the under 19, the basketball teams, the handball teams, the futsal teams, and the roller hockey teams. And they don't have to be athletes either. Barcelona is looking to cut the salary for the staff also. And the reason why I have been hesitant on talking about this topic is because, yes, because of how YouTube is marking me and giving me red flags, but also because when I first read about this news, I didn't believe that it was going to be true. I just didn't believe that the club was actually looking to cut the salary of these players. But since I have been seeing multiple news outlets talking about this, now I'm going to need to talk about this because it's actually starting to become a very serious situation. And so I'm going to give you guys the timeline on what's been going on when we are talking about this topic. And we are first going to start with COPE. They have said that there's an agreement between La Liga and the Players Association. No more games are played. The players will lower their wages by 10%. If La Liga returns, the Players Association agrees to play every 48 hours, but the players will earn 15 to 20% more of their salaries. Now remember, these reports are not going to be 100% true. These are just speculations. Nothing is true right now at the moment. Nothing has been made official. And so we're going to go on with Cuatro. They have said that Barcelona wants all athletes to take a 70% pay reduction, with that pay reduction proposed by the club. Messi would go from earning 50 million to 15 million euros. The captain's response at first was positive, but now it is not. No agreement between players and club have been reached. Then we had Rack 1 almost saying the exact same thing. So you see why I'm starting to believe are actually turning out to be true. So we also have another article coming from Rack 1 claiming that Barcelona have proposed a 70% reduction of their salary in women's team, Barcelona's B team, and in all the sections. All teams are evaluating the measures. They consider that the same conditions apply for the first team in men's football. Then lastly, we did get a report coming out from ESPN, and they have said that Barcelona players rejected the management proposal to cut the salaries by 70%. So it first started with 10 to 20%. Now we are talking about 70%. So you can see why nothing has been made official. There are speculations, but what I believe is turning out to be true is that Barcelona do want to cut their wages on the players and on the staff. And we have to remember, right? We have to keep note that this is all just temporary. The salary cuts will be in action until what's going on is over. And I believe that's the problem, right? Because we just don't know when this situation is going to be gone, meaning that we don't know how long the Barcelona players will need to take that pay cut every month. Now, this rejection that has been reported by the media, if this turns out to be true, if Barcelona, the club, all the players said that they don't want that salary cut, which is the 70%, I believe that Bartomeu needs to have a better way to sell this. What Bartomeu needs to do is that he needs to showcase the future project for this club. And you know what I'm talking about. I think what Bartomeu needs to say is that, hey, we want to bring in these players. We want to strengthen our team. And in order to do that, we will need to take those salary pay cuts. And it's very tricky because we know that some of the players in the club know that they might be traded off for some other players in the summer. So they're in a situation where they're like, okay, you want to take money away from me and you also want to trade me off in the summer. So it is a very tough situation for Bartomeu, because at the end of the day, Bartomeu himself will need to propose what they want to do in the club. And then finally, we also have a report coming from Cat Radio. They have said that the Barcelona board will meet tomorrow tomorrow to discuss the pay cuts of professional athletes, the proposal to reduce the same percentage of pay as of April for all professional sports, also women's sports. So they are claiming that there will be another meeting tomorrow, which is going to be on Thursday. So who knows what's going to happen? We don't know the official details of what Barcelona wants to do, but we do know that Barcelona do want to save money. They do want to keep that economic health in the club. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Nelson Semedo. So according to Mundo Deportivo, they have said that Inter Milan are interested in signing Nelson Semedo this summer. His current contract ends in 2022. And so you see, right? You see how I was talking about that trade-off. Nelson Semedo might be in the operation in order to make a trade-off work. And yes, it is true that Nelson Semedo's contract does end in 2022, and we haven't heard of any renewals for Nelson Semedo, and we all know that Barcelona is very popular on renewing players' contracts 2 years before their contract ends, and we haven't heard anything for Nelson Semedo. And Nelson Semedo hasn't really satisfied or proven to the club on why his contract should be extended or why he should stay at the club. He did have one of his best games this season, and that's great, right? I love to see that from Nelson Semedo. I do want to see Nelson Semedo improve, and again, that's great, but when is the next time we are going to see that from Nelson Semedo? Meaning that he's very inconsistent. Yes, he can provide those outstanding performances, but we need to see that more frequently. And I get it, right? I know that you guys know that Nelson Semedo does provide pace, he provides speed, but he does not have the assist and the goals, and that's something that Barcelona highly appreciate from a right back. They do want that right back that contributes a lot to the attack, and I would not be surprised if Nelson Semedo does get sold or trade off in the summer. And some of you guys may disagree, but I believe that there are more positives than negatives to sell Nelson Semedo this summer, because if we do sell Semedo, we can sell him for 40 million euros. Then we can bring back Emerson, and this is also going to depend if Emerson comes in the summer or not. And we did discuss about Emerson in my last video on his potential move to Barcelona, but it's a very fixable situation for FC Barcelona. This is something that Barcelona shouldn't be stressing. If Nelson Semedo does get sold for 40 million, we can bring back Emerson, and then we will have Emerson and Sergio Roberto fulfilling that right back position. And Emerson does look like he can be the next big potential right back. We know Emerson's capabilities, we know his potential, we know that he can improve much more when he does come to the club, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And again, I would not be dissatisfied if Nelson Semedo does leave this summer. There are more positives than negatives. Now I want to speak about Todibo. According to Bild, they have said that Schalke are considering exercising their right to sign defender Todibo on a permanent basis from Barcelona. And so I'm not surprised, right? Todibo has been performing excellent at Schalke. He is going to become a world-class player. Todibo is very young. He will become an asset if he does decide to sign with Schalke 04. But reading this report really worries me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because at the moment, Barcelona is in a state where they will need to save and keep the economic health in the club. And that's what brings me the fear, right? This is where I believe Barcelona will sell Todibo, only because Barcelona in the summer will not be in the position to bring in Neymar and Lautaro Martinez. And we have discussed this before, right? I am a huge fan of bringing in Neymar and Martinez in this summer, but if it comes to exchanging Todibo for either Neymar or Martinez, I would not want that to happen, because then you have an imbalance in the squad. Because think about it, right? If you have Neymar and Martinez and Messi up front next season, and at the back you have Piqué, Lenglet, and Umtiti, and Semedo and Jordi Alba, there will be no purpose in having that type of front three when you have a very leaky defense that leaks goals. So I am all about having balance in the squad. I'm not the type of guy to say I want Neymar, Martinez, and Messi, and Suarez and Griezmann all in one summer because I want to have the best attack in the world. I don't want that. I want a balanced FC Barcelona who are good from the front and they are good from the back. And again, this brings me a lot of fear because we all know Bartomeu and we all know Abidal that they do lack a winning project. And when you do lack a winning project, you don't think too far ahead. You think too much of what's going on now, and you don't think about what's going to hurt you in the future. And selling TODIBO will hurt you in the future. Now moving on to the last topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Neymar and Martinez. So according to Fabrizio Romano, he is a credible journalist. He did tell 433 that Inter's position with regards to Lautaro Martinez is that they only will sell the player if they paid his 100 million euros release clause, which only can be triggered in July. As for Barcelona, he's a top target for the club, as is Neymar, and the club will see whether it's feasible to go for both or only one. It is possible that a swap deal takes place if Barcelona are keen on doing so, as Inter are very interested in Arturo Vidal and wanted him in January. So notice what they have said here, right? It says here, and the club will see whether it's feasible to go for both or only one. So when I think about the Martinez and Neymar operation, right? And then now we are currently talking about Barcelona trying to maintain their economic health. I believe there is a huge disconnect between those two, because bringing in Martinez and Neymar in the summer is going to cost us between 280 million euros and 295 million euros. And I don't see the salary cut from these players saving FC Barcelona. And there has also been rumors saying that Barcelona is going to pay back what they owe to the players after this whole situation is over. So if that turns out to be true, knowing that they do have debt to pay to the players, I just don't see Neymar and Martinez coming out in the same summer. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the bank account does not match Barcelona's ambition. And I'm really starting to think for the first time this season that Barcelona will be in a place where they will have to choose on who they want to bring in this summer. It's either going to be Martinez or Neymar Jr. And that's where the questions begin, right? Is who should we focus on bringing in next season? And it's a very tough question, because I just made up that question right now, because if we really sit back and think about it, right, I just think that if we bring in one player, the other player will never consider coming to the club again. And if I go based off positional needs, not what I need, I think the best thing to do is to bring Martinez. But if we bring Martinez, right, I just don't see Neymar coming back to Barcelona at all, meaning that I don't see Neymar wearing that Barcelona shirt anymore. I think that if we don't bring Neymar in this summer, Neymar will stop trying coming to the club. And I know that's going to hurt a lot of fans, but I think that's what's going to happen. If Neymar fails to come this summer, he will not consider coming back to the club. This will be his final attempt. But there is also a positive on bringing Martinez. If we do bring in Martinez, I think that Ansu Fati will rise to the spotlight, because if Neymar does not come in, right, that left wing position is going to be open. And I know that Ansu Fati will take advantage of that, and I would love to see Ansu Fati become that next big star at FC Barcelona. I am a huge fan of Ansu Fati. I would love to see a Messi, Martinez, and Ansu Fati trio. Not only are we going to not spend 190 million euros on a Brazilian player, but we will also have a La Masia player play with one of the best players in the world, and again bring light to La Masia. And Ansu Fati will say, you guys don't have to give up. There is still a chance for all La Masia players to start in the Barcelona team, and that would be huge for the club. But I am also interested in bringing in Neymar and having a Neymar, Messi, and Dembele front three. And just imagine the speed and pace we will have on the right flank and on the left flank. So I'm very 50-50. Like, I don't know who to bring when it comes to bringing in either Neymar or Lautaro Martinez. And so I do want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys want to see a separate video on this topic? Do you guys want to see me talking about if Barcelona do end up in the position to choose between Martinez and Neymar, who should Barcelona choose? Would you guys want to see that? I also want to hear from you guys. Who do you guys want to bring, Lautaro Martinez or Neymar Jr.? And tell me why. Not just because you think that Martinez is better than Neymar or Neymar is better than Martinez. Tell me why you think Neymar will be more beneficial to Barcelona, or why you think Martinez will be more beneficial to FC Barcelona. It's a very serious topic. It's a topic and it's a situation that might happen this summer. Do you see Neymar having more chemistry with FC Barcelona, or do you see Martinez having more chemistry with FC Barcelona? And from a tactical standpoint, who do you think Barcelona will need, Martinez or Neymar Jr.? Who is the player that will bring more balance in the front three? We all know that Messi is not getting any younger, which means that whoever is in the remaining two spots in the front three will need to pressure high. They will need to bring that energy, the intensity. So who do you see bringing balance to that front three? So you have to think about all of these things, right? It's just not about who is better, but who can be more beneficial and bring more long-term success to the club. I will be more than happy to make that video for you guys. So let me know if you guys do want to see that video come up this week. So that is it for today's Barcelona daily news. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. More videos will be coming this week, and I will be updating you guys on whatever is going on in the club, in this channel. So if you are new here and you're watching me for the first time, I want to welcome you guys here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.